Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for joining me today. Today's video, I want to talk about brand new news from Plarium, going over a new type of shard event, new type of summoning event that they're going to implement starting on Friday, so in 2 days time. It's going to be called a progressive chance event. So this is Plarium's response to players asking for better than 10x summoning chances, summoning boosts on their shard events. Because basically, like when you have so many champions in the game, 10x no longer becomes super relevant anymore, especially for ancient and sacred shards. The 10x boosts for void events are still kind of relevant because there's not too many void legendaries in the game. But this is Plarium's response to that public outcry. So I'm going to go over some of the notes here from the Plarium community managers. So it's saying we have a chance for up to 25x on a specific set of champions. So it's not any champion you want, and it's going to be based on whatever Plarium will allow us to select, only for these specific type of events. So you see how Plarium has done it. They didn't just give us 20x. They didn't just give us 25x. They had to wrap it all up into this nice fancy new summoning event. And you know what? I think it's a load of I think it's a big load of like nothing, to be honest. I think it's a big load of nothing for maybe 99% of people out there. We much rather prefer a flat 20x rate. But here, let's go into it. So the idea is each time a champion that matches the rarity of the champs in the summon slots you summon, you increase the summoning chances for those slots by 5x. So you go from 15 to 20 to 25. So the way it works is, here's a cheat sheet at the bottom. It says, if you summon a legendary champion from an ancient shard, you will have up to 25% chance of getting legendary champions that you selected from the pool above and put into your summon slots for ancient shards. So the only way you can acquire 25x is if you pull, like if you actually pull a legendary champion, for example, or if you actually pull an epic champion. So if you pull an epic champion, then you'll get boosted rates on the epics that you selected, which is kind of cool if you got some epics that you really need. But most people will probably be interested in the legendaries. So it only increases if you pull legendary beforehand, which is already a tall task most of the time. So these events definitely cater to players with massive amounts of shards that they're willing to pull. It's not even about massive amounts of shards. It's about whether they're willing to pull them. Because first you have to get a legendary twice. So you go from 15 to 20 to 25. Now you have a 25 chance boost on whatever legendary you selected. Now you have to pull a third legendary just to have a 25% chance at that particular legendary. So I'm going to share with you guys a couple screenshots here that Plarium has shared us of what this system might actually look like. They said there's going to be some variation of how it's going to look, but this is going to be what it's kind of going to look like most likely. They said that the slots might change. The amount of slots might change. So they have flexibility here, so they can control how many boosted champions we have. So here is, for example, the 5 champions that they've allowed us to select to be boosted, and we're gonna place 3 of the legendaries in the ancient 15x chance. So at least the base rate will be higher for a certain small pool. 15% chance is obviously better than 10%. So this type of event is definitely better than a 10x, but it's not as good as just a flat rate 20x, for example. But yeah, they're gonna package it in a way that seems really nice and fancy, and then you have the chance to high roll. But the chance to high roll, like I said, you have to pull multiple legendaries to get up to that 25% chance. It's going to be an extremely deep investment if you guys plan to even attempt to go for 25x, and then that's only a chance to get that legendary. So it's just packaged in a way to further confuse the player base, further give them so many options that they just don't even know what to do, don't even know which event to actually go for. But at least this event allows you to save shards, allow you to target it when the pool is favorable to you. So at least you get 15x. However, I'm going to go over some math here that shows you guys that 15x doesn't really mean a damn thing. All right, guys. So the way the 10x odds work, if you guys are not familiar, so right now there's currently 175-ish summonable non-void legendaries. So your pool starts with 175. Let's say you're targeting one champion from 175, right? So one champion from 175. Oops. So you have a 0.57% chance of pulling that one legendary that you want from a regular non-10x event, okay? So the way it works is if you have a 10x for that one specific champion, so now your odds go from 1 in 175 to 10 out of 185 because you're actually adding 10 copies of the champion that you are targeting into the pool. So it goes from 1 out of 175 to 10 out of 185. So we'll see the odds here. Your odds actually increase significantly to 5.4%. So in a standard 10x event, you're looking at about 5.5% to pull your desired legendary. If you pull a legendary. So you have a 1 in 20 chance of pulling your desired 10x champion if you pull the legendary. All right. So similarly, you're looking at, if we're looking at 15x, so 15x, you got 15 and then you got 190 in the pool now because you're adding the 15 into the pool. I'm using kind of round numbers to make it like easier on the eyes, easier to process, but it's probably like it's probably plus like 14. So it's probably like 189 to be exact. So these are not exact, but these are, rough numbers for you guys. So in a 15x, you actually have 7.9%, so just under 8% chance to pull your desired legendary if you hit that legendary. So, that's your standard 15x. Is it better than 5.5%? Hell yeah, right? So definitely this type of event is good if you have, if you're saving up shards, you found your champion that you want to target, go for it. However, I want to tell you, say this right now. So this is how they're actually, this is the kind of thing that's kind of tricky for people, I think, is that when you look at this, for example, you have 3 legendaries here. Okay, you have 3 legendaries here. That means there's an extra, for number's sake, there's an extra 15, 15, 15 of each of these legendaries. Okay, so now instead of 7.89% chance of getting Rhodos, if Rhodos was your only selected champion at a 15x event, you now have 15 Rhodoses in a pool of 220. Okay, so your actual odds are 6.8%. So your actual odds actually reduce because you're adding other 15x choices. And apparently we cannot leave slots empty. So you have to select these champions. So do you want a 15x Rorik? Do you want a 15x this meat grinder guy? So this is kind of Plarium saying like, okay, we're going to give you 15x, but we're going to bring it down just a little bit because, 15x might be too good. And this will apply for 15, for 20, for 15, 20, and 25 as well. All right, so coming back here, we just talked about 15x. However, there's going to be, in this picture, there's going to be 3 15x champions. So your pool's, further diluted, right? So let's look at it from the top. So at 15x, you got 6.8% chance of pulling one champion that you want. For example, in that picture, Rhodos, for example. And a normal 10x event, you got 5.5%. So let's look at the top chance of what this event can actually do for you. 25x. Let's look at 25x. However, there are 3 champions here: Rhodos, Rorik, and Meat Grinder guy. So, like I said, there's 175 base champions available in the game, plus 75 additional copies of Rotos, Rorik, and Meat Guy. So 250. So like I said, these are not exact numbers. These are just for, easy visualization. 250. So we have 25 copies of Rotos. So 25 copies of Rotos going into 250, 10%. So your odds of pulling the champion that you actually want from a 25x in this event is 10%. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's worse than the current 10x void events. Still, void events, you get roughly 13 or 14% chance to pull the 10x void champion that you're targeting. In this event, if they stick with 3 slots for legendaries, you're just diluting the pool further. You're not getting full value from this. It's nothing. 10% chance if you pull legendary is complete bupkis. All right, guys. Don't be fooled by the fancy packaging. Let me know in the comments below what you guys actually think about this. Are you guys going to participate? It's going to be part of Fusion. I think it's going to be a summon rush, so it's a little bit of a bonus if they provide some good champions. We have the list right here. So we got Stultus, Snicktrack, Necmo, Kantra, Countess Lix, Deodor, Tumecia, Ursaga, Lady Annabelle, Stagnite, White Dry, Nia, Tuhanarok. So these are actually pretty good champions, and this is actually, a pretty good, first progressive chance event. So we'll dive into it and then see how it actually goes. I mean, I'm pretty pessimistic about it right now. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, maybe people will be very interested in this. Obviously, a base 15% rate is better than a 10%. Base 15x is better than a 10x. I'm just saying that the 25x does not look as good as it's supposed to be. So insane champions here like Theodore, obviously, Stultus, very good. Necmo, Hydra, very good. I want White Dry Nead. However, I'm not going to pull Void Shards probably. And yeah, there's going to be something here for everybody. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this event. It's going to be tied to the Summon Rush, like I said, for the Fragment Fusion. So if you guys going for that, then we're going to get a chance to play with this progressive chance event. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Appreciate your time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next video.